Now we talk about structural significant items. We saw earlier that the threshold for some structural inspections is many years or many thousands of hours. Why? Because we don't see deterioration in the structure in a new aeroplane. It appears after a considerable period of time. Each structural item is assessed in terms of its significance to continue airworthiness, susceptibility to any form of damage, and the degree of difficulty involved in detecting such damage. In actual fact, the structural process has undergone a significant change over the years. Let me explain why. Historically, we would inspect the airframe, the structure, and we would find deterioration. And we would then contact the manufacturer. The manufacturer would create a repair scheme. Other operators experiencing similar problems would be provided with the repair scheme. The repair scheme would then become a service bulletin. The service bulletin, depending on which part of the structure is affected, would become a requirement and could become an AD. And if you look, for example, at the 737, there are literally tens and tens and tens of ADs related to structure. And that's the process. So the initial step was inspection. The next step, developing a repair. The next step, understanding the magnitude, developing a service bulletin, becoming mandatory, becoming an AD. What happens now is they're trying to understand where the deterioration will come. They're trying to preload integrity into the structure. Means designing the structure in a better way so that we don't get cracking, we don't get fatigue. It's very challenging, but they're making some success. We can see here a cross-section of the A380. We can see, remembering our damage sources, these are the three. There isn't any more. Either we damage it by accident, it's damaged because of fatigue, or it's damaged over time by the environment. How long do we wait before we start paying attention to environmental deterioration? Do you remember what it said? "12 years, remember? And then we do 6-year repeats. Once this is established, scheduled structural maintenance can be developed, which can be shown to be effective in detecting and preventing structural degradation due to fatigue, environmental deterioration, or accidental damage. We have a system here. We talk about SHM, Structural Health Monitoring. The concept of checking or watching a specific structural item, detail, installation or assembly using on-board mechanical, optical or electronic devices specifically designed for the application used. What's this all about? Well, in a composite structure, they embed sensors into the structure, and the sensors are able to determine in a peripheral area if there is any degradation. They pick up and they gather this information and they feed it into the structural health monitoring system. And based on that information, we can then put a localized sensor in the area and we can monitor it. And what you've got to understand is this will give you advanced notice of some cases thousands of hours that there is a deterioration.